This is the 2021 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody. It's a lot of words and this thing costs a lot of money, but man, it is so fast. This is the first of two videos that I'm going to do in this car. This is a point of view video, and then I'm going to do a traditional review as well, but I wanted to get out more content to please you guys because you're asking for it. And man, this thing looks the business. Check this out. So this color is called Frost, and it has 20-inch wheels. These are 20-inch by 11, and it is it's got Pirelli P0 tires on it, 305, 35, 20 all around. These are not all seasons. These are called 3-season tires. They don't have as much grip as I would like. But man, look at how good this thing looks. So the wide body adds these incredible fender flares here. And it's got a special hood scoop. And because it's the Redeye edition, this has 797 horsepower. This is an increase of about 80 horsepower over the standard Hellcat. And it does that through a couple different things. They have increased the size of the intercooler in this, so this is now 2.7 liters. Let's pop the hood. I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Pennzoil. This is the 2021 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody. A lot of words, a lot of motor in here too. 6.2 liters of fury, supercharged. It makes 797 horsepower, and yes, you can take this to the track. It actually is designed to go to the track. And when you do that, you want to change your oil frequently because you want to protect an engine like this. So Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic has enhanced stability of viscosity. That means it's going to help protect your engine a little bit longer because it's going to reduce the wear. It has lower volatility. Again, it's going to help reduce the wear in this engine. It's going to help protect the rings. It's going to help protect the bearings. And if you go down in the description, there is a link for a special offer. You can get a gift card from Pennzoil, and all you need to do is check out the terms and conditions. They're all right there. Definitely go check it out. Again, thank you, Pennzoil, for sponsoring this video. Let's pop the hood so we can figure out how this thing makes so much power. So on the hood, first off, we have these air extractors, heat extractors. They're definitely quite functional. You can see right through them. Here we've got a big scoop, totally functional. Unlike the Supra, these vents are functional. So the air is coming in from here, and it's going into this giant element. That is probably one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. And then it goes into the supercharger here. And of course, on top here, we have this heat exchanger. So this has the SRT chiller. And what that is it plumbs, it's got a separate circuit, which are these lines here. And there is AC refrigerant in there. And it's a separate circuit from the regular AC system. And I'm assuming it has a lot more capacity. And what it does is when you hit the chiller button, it cools this. So this is sitting on top of a 2.7 liter supercharger down here. The old one is 2.5, this is 2.7, so that's part of the reason why you get another 80 horsepower. And then we've got a huge heat exchanger up here, and when you hit the chiller button, the AC refrigerant goes to the heat exchanger, and you can reduce the amount of the intake temperature by up to 45 degrees. That's quite a bit. You can see the pulley system here is a big fat pulley system for the supercharger. So this of course is a 6.2 liter engine, the Hellcat engine. Oh my gosh, hemispherical combustion, and it just makes so much power. It's so impressive. It doesn't look that big in here, but it's actually a fairly big engine. And those are the basics. Oh my gosh, this thing is just so ridiculous. It's so mega. Before we go for a drive, we need to talk about these brakes. So these are 6-piston Brembo brakes. You can see the pistons right over here up front. I think the rotors are, they're 15.7 inches. It does stop very well. As you can imagine, you need very good stopping power to bring this beast to a halt. In the rear we have some Brembos as well. So this thing is not the lightest car in the world. I don't expect it's going to be a Canyon Carver exactly. All said and done, this weighs 4,610 pounds. So not the lightest thing in the world, but oh my gosh, this thing, it just looks so good. It just looks the business. Let's just walk around here. I can show you what it looks like from the rear as well. I like the LED light strip that goes all the way across the back of the car, side to side. Of course, you have this deck lid spoiler. And there's actually a fair bit of trunk space in here too. And it has this really aggressive sort of C-shaped character line in the middle there too. Of course, you have the lower valences there, and you've got these amazing fender flares. And I really do like it. Have I told you that I liked it yet? I believe they've done some slight revisions to the front bumper, rather the front splitter here for the Redeye version. So yeah, let's go for a drive now. I'm going to put the drive programming in custom, just the way I like it. It says I've got the red key in use. Loss of traction. Brakes are good. This has a way of shortening the straightaways. They seem oh so short in this car. Here is a short straightaway. And that's done. So yes, this thing really is so mega to drive. The dominating experience in here, of course, is this insane engine, and I love that supercharger whine that you get too. So how does it handle? Not bad. I mean, it is a 4,600 pound car, so this is not the lightest car in the world. Not really designed for canyons like this, but it's a good thing that the brakes are really good. I do like the steering quite a bit, actually. There's a decent amount of feel in here. It's pretty easy to place the vehicle, but this thing is just dominated by the experience of the engine. And we need to talk about the traction for a second too. So right there, of course, I was getting a little bit of wheel spin. So even in the most street version of the traction control, it still breaks traction when you put your foot into it. And I've got the transmission on a fairly aggressive setting right now. So right now I'm in third gear. But the thing is, when you got a car that's this big and powerful and it's rear-wheel drive, you're gonna break traction pretty much at all speeds. I've noticed when you downshift on the freeway, let's say you're doing 60 miles an hour, and you put your foot right down, it's gonna break traction. That's just what it does, and it takes a second for it to regain. When I had it in the sport traction mode, for whatever reason, when I put my foot down and it kicked down, the tires just kept spinning. It just kept spinning and spinning and spinning. So that's not good. You don't want to find yourself going sideways, which is very, very easy to do in this car. This is just such a sort of a ridiculous drift machine. In a second, we're going to talk about launch control, which this thing has too. This is designed to give you the best possible launches at the drag strip. So right here on a tight canyon road like this, it's surprisingly competent. It holds its weight pretty well. This is not a light, agile sports car though by any means. There's some kind of magic that Dodge is doing here to keep everything pointed where it's supposed to be, keep this car on the road, because there is a lot of heft and you can feel it. But it feels very solid too, and it's sort of a nice feeling. But man, you think you got a long straightaway? Not in this car. It gets very short very quickly. Now this has a final drive ratio, oh my gosh, of 2.62, which sounds pretty low, but given the fact that this car has a top speed of over 200 miles an hour, it's one of the reasons why. And there's so much torque in here that it's very difficult to get the power down to the ground. So 2.62 is pretty good if you're just cruising around on the street, driving on the highway. But if you want to go to the track, there's an option for an even lower final drive ratio. I believe it's 308, which is going to make this car a little bit quicker, especially once you get it moving and you get it off the line. But is this a good way to spend a morning in the canyons? Oh yes. Yes, it definitely is. This is my first time taking the canyons. I'm here experiencing it with you guys for the first time, seeing how it handles, seeing how it performs, seeing what it is like to drive in a situation that is probably not really designed for. This is really designed for straight line performance. All right, it's not the perfect stretch of road, but it's what we got. I'm gonna hit launch. I follow the instructions, launch, press brake quickly, and apply full throttle. And I was very limited by traction there. I definitely got more wheel spin than I would have liked. So that's basically what it feels like. So here's the issue. You don't get a lot of traction in first gear because there's just so much torque. So it's limiting the amount of torque that's going to the rear wheels. It's trying to find traction. And when it does, it starts applying more torque. You get more power going to the rear wheels. Then it shifts. And the same thing happens all over again. I started getting a fair bit of wheel spin in second gear, and then it was all over. So let's try one more time. The real issue with this car is not power, it's definitely traction. Okay, last time it was obvious I didn't have traction control properly activated, so I'm gonna hit this button here. It says vehicle will launch at 1400. It went up to 2000 last time. Let's try it now. There we go. Still lots of wheel spin when it changes gears, so there just isn't that much traction there. with these street tires, these 20-inch Pirelli P0s. They're not really drag radials. If you want to go to the drag strip, you probably are best suited to get yourself some drag radials, some sticky tires, because even with launch control activated, when it shifted, the rear tires lit up, and it did take a little too long for it to regain traction. So I found this to be an issue with a lot of high-powered rear-wheel drive cars. It's just difficult to get traction when you've got a ton of power and it's going to just one pair of wheels, the rear wheels. Getting on the freeway on-ramp experience. Well, that was quick. Holy crap, this thing is fast. There's still wheel spin though. It has trouble putting down the power, which I guess is not all that surprising. Man, it is so quick. That was a nice bit of speed there. If you're on the freeway, let's see what happens when I punch it if I get wheel spin. God, this thing is nuts. A little bit of wheel spin, wasn't too bad that time, but man, this thing builds speed so rapidly. This Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody is absolutely bonkers. It's insane. It has so much power. It just wants to kill you. It has an engine that you don't need. It has more power than anyone ever needs. It really has answered the question, how much power is too much power? I think this is it, and I absolutely love it. Thank you, Dodge, for continuing to make incredible, amazing vehicles like this that no one needs, but I absolutely love. I'm gonna have a full review up very soon. If you wanna know something specific, drop a question down in the comments. Please subscribe, give this video a like, and I'll see you in the next video.